going to do a modified Robert Jones bandage. We're going to pretend we have a laceration on our forelimb. This is our sterile Telfa pad, and we're going to pretend we already cleaned up our wound, and now we're going to bandage it up. So we put some ointment on our Telfa, and we're going to put it on our wound, and we're going to make stirrups before we place our bandage so that hopefully our bandage does not slip. And we usually do the lateral and medial aspect of the limb, but if our injury is on the lateral or medial aspect, we can put our strips on the dorsal and palmar or plantar aspect. Okay, I put a stick in between so they hopefully don't stick together too much. We're going to start with cast padding for our modified Robert Jones. We want to try and leave out our middle 2 digits, so it's digits 3 and 4, so that we can assess for any swelling if our bandage was placed too tight. If we have to cover the foot, that's okay if there's an injury there, but it's a little bit better so we can see if there's any issues, if we can leave those toes out. And with the cast padding, you can't pull this too tight. It will break if you do. And we want to try and do about 50-50 coverage each time around. And we want to make sure that we don't have any wrinkles, because those wrinkles are going to end up irritating the skin. And if we needed to do another layer to make it a little bit thicker, we could do that. And then our next, so that the Telfa was our primary layer, the cast padding was our secondary layer, and now we're going to start our tertiary layer. This is rolled conform gauze, and so it stretches a little bit. You want to make sure your tertiary layer never touches the skin. So I'm going to leave about 1/2 inch of the cast padding exposed. And with this, we do not want to pull our tertiary layer tight, because this is the layer that's going to constrict down and cut off our blood flow if it's too tight. So we're just going to put a tiny bit of tension on it, just so that it lays flat. And when I unroll, you can see I'm unrolling so that it lays flat. If you have it twisted the other way, it makes it so that your bandage is not going to be as flat as it could be. So all of your layers should be unrolled this way. And again, about 50-50 coverage. And the same thing at the top, we want to make sure that our rolled gauze does not touch the skin, so you need to check on all sides to make sure that it's about at least 1/2 inch away from the edge. All right, now we're going to reflect our stirrups back. So you're going to do a little half twist and then stick the tape to the rolled gauze. If you need to cut it, you can, if it's too long. Sometimes it doesn't stick very well, so your assistant can hold it for you if necessary. And then we're going to get our vet wrap. With the vet wrap, you absolutely cannot pull this tight. It just has to lay flat. This one really constricts down. You can see it's very elastic. So for a modified Robert Jones, we are not pulling this tight at all. And again, we do not want it touching the skin, so it's going to go over our rolled gauze, again leaving the cast padding exposed. So with this, you can unroll it completely and then roll it back up, or to save time, Each time you go around, hold on to the vet wrap so that you're not tightening, and you can loosen up enough to go around the limb. And look at just laying it flat. There's no tension on the vet wrap. Open it up a little bit. And then we're still doing 50-50 coverage. Each layer. And same thing, once you get to the top, make sure that it does not touch the skin. And then the bandage is done. If you want to add a little security, you can get elasticon, which is that thick sticky tape, and put that at the bottom of the bandage as well as at the top. If you're going to use the elasticon, do not put any tension on it.